Alright, so I wanted to create another short video that kind of goes into detail a little bit about dividing with larger numbers. The concept of dividing using the partial quotient still applies here. So if that is still something that you're working on mastering, take a look back at the first video on division that I sent out. It explains it in greater depth, and really I just wanted to take the time today to kind of get you familiar with using larger numbers to multiply with. So take a look here. We have 2,359 divided by 4. And so when we're using larger multiples, again, we want to think of friendly numbers, landmark numbers that are easy for us to work out in our mind. So one of the tools that I told the kids today to think about was looking at large multiples first. So starting with 100, multiplying by 100, or multiples of that, and there should be another parentheses right there. Anyways, so if we look at 2,359, we want to think of multiples of 100. So I could start off with 4 times 100, but I can use a larger number to get me a little bit closer to 2,359. So I know that if I use 4 times 500, that will make 2,000. So we can subtract, and we see that there's 359 left. So now, let's think, we've multiplied multiples of 100. If I tried to do 4 times 100 again, I wouldn't have enough to subtract from what's left. We wouldn't be able to do 359 minus 400. So let's do 4 times something else to get us a little bit closer. I am thinking 4 times 80. Multiples of 10. It's a little more than 50. Multiples of 10. 4 times 80, because that makes 320. And then from there's only 39 left. I can do 4 times 8 again. That will have 32. That'll give me 7 left. Okay. I know 4. I can make one more group of 4 out of this. I took multiple of 1. As you can see right here for both of those, 4 times 8 and 4 times 1. These are just basic facts here. Okay, so then I go and subtract, and I have 3 left over. Okay, so my quotient here, 500 plus 80 plus 8 plus 1, would give me 581 with a remainder of 3. Excuse me, that's not 581, it's 589. There we go. Okay. All right. So now, if you were working this problem out, you may have chosen to use some different multiples. You may have, instead of doing 8 and 1, you may have chosen to do 9 instead of breaking that down into 2 steps, because 4 times 9 makes 36, and that would have been a little bit closer to 39, save one more step. Okay, so the reason I had the kids thinking of multiples like this today is because I was noticing that as some kids were working these problems out with these larger numbers, they had 10 or more steps. They were multiplying 10 or more numbers together. And while that works and would eventually get you to your quotient, it takes a lot of time, and it's not very efficient. And I'm going to give you an example of what that might look like. So starting with large multiples and slowly working your way down to the smaller multiples will help eliminate some of that. Okay, so here's what it will look like. Let's take a look at the same problem. Let's say I started with 4 times 10. Get my pen tool now. All right. Subtract 40. So then we would still have 2,319, okay? All right, let's say I did 4 times 100. Multiple of 100, it's a bigger number. It's still not going to get me very far. If I take 400 away, it's leave me with 19 and 1900. 1919. Okay. Well, again, I could do 4 times 100. You see the idea here. I'm continuing to do the same thing. It's just a lot of steps. 4 times, I could do 4 times 100 again. See, using more steps, I'm using the same thing over and over and over again. It's working my way down slowly, but it's still taking up a lot of room. It's taking up a lot of time. And you can see that I've already got 4 steps written here, and there's still a whole lot that's left to be done. There's still 1,119 that still has to be split up between the 4 groups or into groups of 4, whichever. And so there's, if you continue along this path of, multiplying by small multiples like 10 or 5 or 20, even 100, it's going to take you a good long while to get down to where you're at a much smaller number to work with. So this is why I focused on this in class today, using larger multiples to work your way down and finding the quotient a little bit faster and more efficiently. So I know I didn't finish this, but I hope you get the idea of what I'm trying to get at. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me or write a comment on YouTube or whatever. As always, I appreciate your feedback. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help out. So thanks for watching.